All right, we're gonna steer clear from Islam in this video here. We're going to discuss the incentive of socialism. With that, I'll turn the subject to my grandson, Tristan. Go ahead, Tristan.
All right, so it's a pretty common argument against socialism that socialism has no incentives within it as an economic system. So basically, there's no reason for people to work under socialism according to common belief. So today, that's kind of the argument that we're going to be attacking. This is, kind of the notion that we're going to be attacking. And we're going to be giving some examples of incentives under socialism. So before we really get into it, I want to start off by giving an simple description of what socialism actually is as an economic system. So basically, socialism is an economic system that is defined by a dictatorship of the proletariat. In other words, a state where the working class is in control of the state and determines all conditions that are made within any given society. And number two, a society or an economic system in which the means of production, which are basically the tools that you use to produce products, are publicly owned and democratically controlled. So on a very bare bones level, that's basically what socialism is. So you can kind of see here that this conception of socialism doesn't really exclude any of the traditional incentives that we usually think of. So, for example, within socialism, people would still get a paycheck. So for working, you would still get paid for your work. So there's already an example of one incentive that would still exist under socialism. And I wanted to talk real quick, number two, about some added incentives that would exist under socialism for working that don't usually exist under capitalism. So in a society that is defined by democratic control of the means of production, and this principle basically makes up the state, because obviously the state democratically controls the means of production. State is democratically controlled by the workers, so obviously democratic ownership over the means of production and democratic ownership over businesses would essentially define the whole society and define how the state works. So in a democratic in terms of economics, democratically controlled society in terms of economics, you would obviously have a decision on how your workplace is run. And this decision, as I've stated before, because of the economy's relationship to the states, in democratically exercising your right to determine how your workplace is run, you would also kind of inadvertently have a decision or some kind of leeway or some kind of pressure in deciding how your state and how your society as a whole is run, not just your business that you work at. So, number one, with this democratic control of the means of production within a business, you would be able to exercise your authority, your democratic authority, to kind of institute new ideas and new ways of running your business that you work at. So you would be able to exercise your new innovative ideas and exercise creativity within the workplace. And number two, this exertion of creativity and innovative new ideas within the workplace, as I've said before, as the state is necessarily tied to the economy. This would also allow you to have a kind of an indirect hand in influencing how your state, how your government, how your society is run. So you can also, through democratic decision making in the workplace, not only influence your workplace through innovative new ideas and creativity, but you could also influence how your society is run and how your state is run, and implement new innovative ideas and implement creative ideas in how your state is run. So socialism would not only have traditional incentives like paychecks, but it would also have new added incentives like expression of creativity, both in the workplace and in how your government is run, even if you're not necessarily a public servant or you're working in government in any way. So yeah, that would basically wrap up the subject and wrap up the video as a whole. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.